Now, if you are over 60 and still approaching self-pleasure the same way you did decades ago, you might unknowingly be causing significant damage to your most intimate health. What I am about to share with you could be the difference between years of silent suffering and reclaiming your masculine vitality naturally. Most men have never been told that after 60, your body requires a completely different approach to maintain optimal sexual function and overall well-being. I am Dr. Eva Hart, a certified urologist with 14 years of specialized experience working exclusively with men over 60. In my practice, I have seen countless men struggle with issues they believe are simply inevitable parts of aging, when in reality these problems often stem from outdated habits that no longer serve their changing physiology. I understand this is not an easy topic to discuss. Society has conditioned us to treat male sexuality, especially in later years, as something shameful or inappropriate to address openly. But here is the truth. Maintaining a healthy relationship with your own body is not only normal but essential for your physical and emotional well-being. Ignoring this aspect of your health does not make problems disappear, it makes them worse. In this video, I will reveal 5 critical mistakes that most men over 60 make without realizing the long-term consequences. These are not moral failures or character flaws, they are simply outdated approaches that worked when you were younger but now actively work against your body. This is about more than just physical function. This is about reclaiming your confidence, your sense of masculine identity, and your right to feel vital and alive in your own skin, regardless of your age. Stay with me until the end, because I will share a simple adjustment that has helped hundreds of my patients restore sensitivity they thought was gone forever. This single change requires no medications, no expensive treatments, and no complicated procedures. If this topic resonates with you, please share in the comments what specifically brought you here today. Your openness helps other men realize they are not alone in facing these challenges. But first, let me address something that might shock you. Recent research has revealed that the way most men stimulate themselves after 60 actually trains their nervous system to become less responsive over time. The very thing they turn to for pleasure gradually becomes the source of decreased sensitivity and function. Let me start with something that happens in my office almost daily. A man will sit across from my desk, clearly uncomfortable, and eventually admit that things just do not feel the same anymore. He assumes this is normal aging, but when I explain what has actually been happening to his body, everything suddenly makes sense. Your nervous system after 60 is fundamentally different from what it was at 30 or 40. Pathways that once responded quickly and predictably now require more thoughtful stimulation. When you continue using the same aggressive techniques you used decades ago, you are essentially training your body to need increasingly intense stimulation to achieve the same response. Think about it this way. If you listen to music at maximum volume every day for years, your hearing would gradually diminish. The same principle applies here. Your nerve endings can become overwhelmed and less responsive when subjected to repetitive, intense stimulation without proper recovery. One particular case stands out: a 68-year-old retired engineer who came to me frustrated and concerned. He had noticed a significant decrease in sensation over the past few years and was convinced something was seriously wrong. After discussing his habits, we discovered he had been using the same intense grip and rapid motion for over 3 decades. Within 6 weeks of adjusting his approach, he reported a remarkable improvement in sensitivity and overall satisfaction. Key was not medication or surgery, it was simply understanding how to work with his mature nervous system rather than against it. This understanding becomes crucial when we examine the specific mistakes that are undermining the health and satisfaction of so many men your age. First mistake: the position that kills sensation. Most men over 60 have developed a habitual position for self-stimulation that puts dangerous pressure on crucial nerves and blood vessels. Sitting hunched forward on a hard chair or edge of a bed for extended periods creates compression on your pudendal nerve, the primary nerve responsible for sensation and function in your genital area. This nerve runs through your pelvic floor and can become compressed when you maintain certain positions for too long. Over months and years, this compression leads to numbness, tingling, chronic discomfort, and even erectile dysfunction. Many men attribute these symptoms to aging when they are actually caused by preventable nerve compression. I have treated men who spent years believing they were losing function due to age, when in reality they were dealing with positional nerve damage. One 72-year-old patient had been experiencing progressive numbness for 3 years. He assumed it was diabetes-related, but his blood sugar was well controlled. Culprit was his habit of leaning forward on a wooden chair during his private moments. Through switching to a reclining position with proper cushioning, his sensation began returning within weeks. The improvement continued for months as the compressed nerve healed and blood flow normalized. The solution is surprisingly simple but requires conscious attention. Change your position regularly during any extended period of stimulation. Avoid hard surfaces and forward-leaning postures. Instead, try reclining with proper support, lying on your side, or using cushioning to protect your pelvic area. Your pudendal nerve deserves the same consideration you would give to preventing a pinched nerve in your back or neck. Small adjustments in positioning can prevent years of unnecessary discomfort and dysfunction. But positioning is just the beginning. The second mistake involves something that becomes increasingly critical as your skin changes with age, yet most men completely ignore this vital protective measure. Second mistake, ignoring your skin protection needs. As we age, the skin throughout our body becomes thinner and more delicate. This is especially true for the sensitive skin in the genital area. Yet many men continue to stimulate themselves without any lubrication, creating microscopic tears and irritation that accumulate over time. What starts as minor redness or irritation can progress to chronic sensitivity loss, scarring, and persistent discomfort. The irony is that many men interpret this damage as normal aging when it is entirely preventable. I recently consulted with a 65-year-old businessman who had been experiencing increasing discomfort during intimate moments. He described burning sensations and reduced pleasure that had developed gradually over several years. When I examined him, I found clear signs of chronic friction damage, small areas of scarring and inflammation that were preventing normal sensation. The good news is that skin has remarkable healing capacity when given proper protection. Within 3 months of using appropriate lubrication and allowing healing time, this patient reported significant improvement in both comfort and sensitivity. The solution is straightforward. Use appropriate lubrication every time. Water-based or silicone-based lubricants provide the protection your skin needs. Avoid products with strong fragrances or additives that might cause irritation. Simple, pharmacy-grade lubricants work perfectly well. At your age, lubrication is not a luxury or an admission of any kind of failure. It is essential protection for maintaining long-term function and comfort. Think of it as sunscreen for your most sensitive areas. However, even with proper positioning and lubrication, the third mistake can still undermine your progress and create long-term dysfunction. Third mistake, the technique that creates dependency. For decades, you have likely used the same hand, the same grip pressure, the same rhythm, and the same technique. While consistency might seem logical, it actually creates a problematic conditioning in your nervous system that becomes more pronounced with age. When your brain becomes accustomed to one very specific set of stimuli, it begins to require exactly those conditions to respond. This is called stimulus dependency, and it can severely limit your ability to experience pleasure in other circumstances, including with a partner. The aging nervous system is particularly susceptible to this type of conditioning. What once provided variety and flexibility in your responses becomes increasingly narrow and specific. Many men find themselves trapped in a cycle where only one very particular technique works, and even that becomes less effective over time. I worked with a 69-year-old widower who had been using the exact same technique for over 40 years. When he began a new relationship, he discovered he could not respond to his partner touch at all. His nervous system had become so conditioned to one specific stimulation pattern that nothing else registered as pleasurable. Through gradual technique variation and patience, we were able to restore his neurological flexibility. The process took several months, but he eventually regained the ability to respond to different types of touch and stimulation. Breaking this pattern requires conscious effort to vary your approach. Switch hands occasionally, change your grip, experiment with different rhythms and pressures. This variety challenges your nervous system to remain flexible and responsive rather than locked into rigid patterns. Think of this as physical therapy for your nervous system. Just as you would exercise different muscle groups to maintain overall strength and flexibility, varying your stimulation patterns maintains neurological flexibility and responsiveness. This flexibility becomes even more important when we consider the fourth mistake, which involves a crucial aspect that most men completely overlook. Fourth mistake: ignoring your energy patterns. Many men pay no attention to how they feel after climax, missing crucial information about their body and overall health. Some feel relaxed and energized, others feel drained, foggy, or even irritable. These differences are not random. They provide important clues about your hormonal balance, nutritional status, and overall health. As we age, our neurotransmitter production and hormone levels change significantly. The same frequency and intensity of stimulation that worked at 40 might leave you feeling depleted at 65. Recent studies have shown that older men who climax frequently without adequate recovery time experience more significant drops in dopamine and other crucial neurotransmitters. This can manifest as brain fog, decreased motivation, mood swings, sleep disturbances, or even depression-like symptoms. Many men never connect these symptoms to their intimate habits because no one has taught them to pay attention to these patterns. A 74-year-old retired teacher came to me complaining of persistent fatigue and lack of motivation. His medical workup was normal, but when we discussed his habits, he revealed he had been using self-stimulation as a sleep aid every night for years. His body was not getting adequate recovery time between sessions, leading to chronic neurotransmitter depletion. By adjusting his frequency to every other day and paying attention to his energy levels, his fatigue and motivation issues resolved within a month. Key was learning to read his body signals rather than following a rigid routine. Start monitoring how you feel in the hours and days following climax. If you consistently feel energized and well, your current approach is likely working for your body. If you notice fatigue, irritability, or other negative effects, consider adjusting either your frequency or your technique. There is no universal rule about frequency. Some men do well with daily activity, others benefit from longer intervals. Key is learning to read your body and respond accordingly rather than following arbitrary schedules or expectations. This self-awareness becomes even more critical when we address the fifth and perhaps most destructive mistake. Fifth mistake: missing the health monitoring opportunity. Many men use self-stimulation purely as a mechanical release, something to do when bored, stressed, or unable to sleep. While these motivations are understandable, this approach misses a crucial opportunity for health monitoring and early problem detection. When stimulation becomes rushed, mindless, or guilt-ridden, it loses its potential benefits and can actually contribute to feelings of disconnection and shame. More importantly, it eliminates an important opportunity to monitor your body for changes that might indicate serious health issues. Your intimate moments provide unique access to areas and functions that you might not otherwise examine regularly. Changes in sensation, erectile quality, ejaculation force or volume, or unusual discomfort can be early warning signs of cardiovascular problems, hormonal imbalances, or even more serious conditions. I diagnosed early prostate issues in several patients simply because they noticed changes during self-stimulation and mentioned them during routine visits. In one case, a 67-year-old noticed that his ejaculation had become painful and weak. This led to early detection of prostate enlargement that we were able to treat before it caused serious complications. Instead of treating this as something to get through quickly, consider making it an intentional practice of body awareness. Notice any changes in sensation, function, or response. Pay attention to unusual discomfort, changes in erection quality, or variations in climax intensity. This mindful approach serves multiple purposes. It enhances the immediate experience, provides ongoing health monitoring, and helps you develop a better relationship with your changing body. Many early signs of hormonal imbalance, circulation problems, or other health issues first become apparent during intimate moments. This is not about turning a private moment into a medical examination, but rather about maintaining awareness of your body and its patterns. This awareness can help you catch potential issues early and address them before they become serious problems. The science of healthy self-pleasure after 60. The science of healthy self-pleasure after 60. Now that we have addressed the common mistakes, let me share what research tells us about the benefits of mindful self-pleasure for men over 60. For too long, this topic has been shrouded in shame and misinformation, but science provides a much clearer picture. The most significant finding comes from Harvard research following over 32,000 men for nearly 2 decades. Men who ejaculated at least 21 times per month showed a 33% lower risk of developing prostate cancer compared to those who ejaculated fewer than 7 times monthly. The mechanism behind this protection involves flushing inflammatory compounds and cellular debris from the prostate gland. Think of it like running clean water through pipes to prevent buildup and blockages. Regular ejaculation also promotes healthy blood flow to the pelvic region, reducing stagnation and supporting overall prostate health. Beyond prostate protection, regular climax triggers beneficial hormonal changes that become increasingly important with age. Stress hormones like cortisol decrease significantly, while mood-supporting chemicals like serotonin and oxytocin increase. These changes can improve sleep quality, reduce anxiety, and support emotional well-being during a time when many men struggle with depression and isolation. Pelvic floor muscles also benefit tremendously from regular activity. During climax, these muscles contract rhythmically, providing natural exercise that supports bladder control, erectile function, and overall pelvic stability. For men who might otherwise struggle with incontinence or pelvic floor weakness, this represents valuable muscle maintenance that requires no gym membership or special equipment. Additionally, research from the Mayo Clinic indicates that regular orgasms boost immunoglobulin levels, strengthening your immune system when it becomes more vulnerable with age. Studies have also shown that the neurochemical cascade during climax can improve cognitive function and memory retention in older adults. Perhaps most importantly, maintaining regular sexual activity helps preserve the neural pathways responsible for sexual response, preventing the use it or lose it phenomenon that affects many aging men retry. Understanding the benefits is only useful if you know how to access them safely and effectively. Here are the key adaptations every man over 60 should implement immediately. First, prioritize nerve protection through proper positioning and adequate lubrication. Your body deserves the same consideration you would give any other important physical activity. Treat this with the same care you use when exercising or engaging in any physical practice. Second, embrace variety in your technique. Challenge your nervous system to remain flexible and responsive rather than locked into rigid patterns that become less effective over time. This variety also prevents the development of stimulus dependency that can interfere with partnered intimacy. Third, develop body awareness by paying attention to how you feel before, during, and after. This information guides you toward approaches that support rather than drain your energy and well-being. Your body provides constant feedback. Learning to interpret these signals improves both immediate satisfaction and long-term health. Fourth, use these moments for gentle health monitoring without letting health concerns overshadow the natural pleasure and stress relief this activity provides. This balance between awareness and enjoyment is crucial for maintaining a healthy relationship with your body. Remember that temperature, time of day, and even your emotional state can significantly impact your experience and recovery. Experimenting with these variables helps you discover what works best for your unique physiology at this stage of life. Many men find that morning sessions provide more energy and better recovery, while others prefer evening sessions for better sleep quality. You are not broken, diminished, or somehow less masculine because your body has changed with age. You are simply working with a different set of physical realities that require updated approaches. When you embrace these adaptations rather than fighting them, you can maintain satisfaction and function far longer than you might have imagined.